Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be talking about Abyss of Legends, its impact on players, and whether it currently still feels kind of out of place, because there's quite a large issue with the rewards of Abyss that I believe that not too many people are currently talking about. And as an example, today we're going to use this guy, Scorp, from Alliance Sauce. I take it he reached out to me online app, just kind of like messaging that he had finished Abyss of Legends, he's free to play, showing that he got Mordu, double Moon Knight, so he got relatively, well, absolutely screwed by his crystal pulls. He got Science, 6-star Awakening Gem, Mutant, TF5CC. When I look at his Science roster, that isn't really like a perfect candidate for that Science Awakening Gem, so that's something he's going to have to save. And when we take a look at his Mutant 6-star roster, we can see Namor and Beast, and Namor and Duped obviously is a relatively garbage, and Beast definitely does not deserve that TF5CC either, so he has put in time and effort, so he has put up the work, completed Abyss of Legends, big great accomplishment, but it has absolutely zero effect to his account, which is unfortunate and which should not be the case, which, in my opinion, after a monumental kind of like feat like that, for account, you should always be able to at least somehow use these rewards relatively immediately. Otherwise, many people will be discouraged to even go and complete it. And I believe that is exactly the case that's currently happening for many people, because obviously we have the biggest problem that Abyss is still themed extremely towards a champion or a couple of champions, whether it be those horsemen or most specifically Aegon as a sole kind of like core. And that is a problem, obviously, that's unfortunate, but hey, it is what it is. But the rewards themselves do not necessarily offer any immediate value to a player who could technically be able to complete it, and whether you can use these rewards entirely depend on your 6-star roster currently, and there's pretty much nothing guaranteed. And I think it's relatively borderline criminal to leave these rewards entirely in the hands of RNG, especially right now when so many people have so limited 6-star rosters, and we can see huge discrepancy in variance of the 6-star rosters, much more so than we normally do with 5 stars, for instance, currently. And we can obviously see that this person basically says, yeah, I'm gutted, feel like I wasted my time, at least I got the title, right? So there's a hint of sarcasm there. He's saying it's going to be a really long time until he explores it because he's free to play. And now if we can jump in a game, obviously we can check out the quest rewards themselves. And I think that is a bigger problem that currently not too many people are talking about. That's why I wanted to make this video, because Abyss of Legends relatively should be kind of next continuation part of Labyrinth of Legends. And there are two immediate kind of like thoughts in my mind that do kind of like pop out of place. Number one is I keep thinking that Abyss of Legends was rushed too early, too quickly, because typically like Labyrinth of Legends, for instance, came out straight after Act 4, or like a while after Act 4, at a point where every person was guaranteed to have at least a one rank 4 5-star champion had they completed all the content previously, even if they hadn't purchased any offers. Alright, so that was a landmark which kind of like the content was relatively geared towards to, and it also made sure that all the players have access to that 1 rank 4 5-star, versus currently there's very limited amount of people who could take up a 6-star to rank 3 without these Abyss of Legends rewards. Basically, yes, there are mega whales who bought every order, every offer, and ranked, I don't know, top 16 gifting event or something, and then yes, they could potentially have a rank 3 6-star without Abyss. But if you're like a casual average player or spend here and there, if you have completed all of the content, it is extremely unlikely or downright impossible that you will end up with a rank 3 6-star going into the Abyss. So I think there was this major kind of like different shift from Labyrinth to Abyss, when both of these pieces of content obviously were the hardest ever designed, or what have you, and both of them were kind of like themed towards this new progression gap, versus Labyrinth was kind of like themed towards rank 4 5 stars. at a time when 4-star, maxed out 4-stars were the most dominant kind of like champion group. And Abyss of Legends seems to definitely be themed towards a rank 3 6-star power mark at a time when maxed out 5-stars are kind of like the relative most dominant power group. But the difference is that Abyss of Legends came out before people were guaranteed to have a rank 3 6-star, versus Labyrinth of Legends came out after the fact that you were guaranteed to have a rank 4 5-star if you complete all the content. So that immediately got me kind of suspicious. Also, Labyrinth of Legends definitely benefited from the fact that it was tier 2 alphas, and no matter what kind of champions you had, so long as you had one good 5-star champion, you were able to use those rewards. It didn't matter which class of a champion you have, therefore even relatively much more limited 5-star rosters could jump in Labyrinth and without a doubt have some sort of immediate impact to your account, versus currently when it comes to 6-stars, rank 3, and these being RNG class-based rewards, you're not in the same boat anymore. Even for me, when I was going in Abyss of Legends, I do not have like the biggest 6-star roster, but it's definitely not like the smallest one either, so we'll check it out. Let's do a count quickly. So that would be 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 66, 69. So I have 69, 69, whatever. So I was 69 6-stars, right? But still, at this point, when I was heading into Abyss, there were 3 classes that I definitely did not want to pull, and I was hoping to get quote-unquote lucky with my tier 5 CC pulls in order to make sure I can actually progress my account. So, for instance, currently, if I take a look at my mutant group, now I do have a relatively large amount of mutant champions. Unfortunately, vast majority of them suck. Only ones who don't would be Namor, Emma Frost, Omega Red, and let's say Sabretooth. But at the same time, all of those are unduped, so they're definitely not the champions I will want to take to rank 3. So at this point, if I pull the mutant tier 5 CC, I would have been desperately hoping to pull a mutant awakening gem as well, and odds of that happening are very slim to none at that point. So I definitely wanted to avoid mutant tier 5 CC. Same would go for a science class, where I do have some science champions that are good and that I have taken to rank 2, like Human Torch and Wasp and Captain America Infinity War Thing and Void. But again, all of those are unduped. Only duped ones, only the champions that I do not particularly want to take up to rank 3 seem to be duped, like Gladiator Hulk. I'm not saying these are horrible champions, but they're definitely far from being the top champions that everybody gets excited about. And again, this was a situation where I was hoping not to pull a Science tier 5 CC, at least unless I pull a Science Awakening gem. And that kind of forms a pair. But that is for my account, and I had like 50-50 shot basically, because I had whole 3 classes I did not want to pull because I didn't have anything that I could immediately rank up. So it was, every time I opened the crystal, I was like 50-50 coin flop versus whether I will or will not be able to use these rank up materials, and that was scary as hell. Now I can only imagine how annoying and potentially devastating somebody's kind of like confidence, or I don't know, love for the game, or a sense of achievement for clearing Abyss could be if your 6-star roster is smaller. And if these chances of pulling something bad are far greater. And again, my account is not a small account. Let's say, to put it in comparison, my account is still in top 100 largest accounts in game. So for vast majority, for an average player, Abyss rewards seem like the ultimate gamble at this point, because they will 100% not have 6 dupe champions, kind of like a champion per each class, that they would be willing to take up and invest this tier 5 CC in. So therefore I think that Abyss of Legends are ultimately extremely poorly designed. They do follow the same idea that Labyrinth of Legends rewards do go with, just are scaled towards 6 stars opposed to 5 stars. And if we can go here in special quests, we can check out Labyrinth of Legends rewards. 1 second. And here we can see that we have 4 tier 2 alphas for initial completion, which would mean ranking up 1 champion to the next level, but it means any champion from any class. And 1 class awakening gem and some that is what you get here. And then when you explore it, you have 8 tier 2 alphas, which again mean ranking up 2 champions of any classes whatsoever to the next level of progression. And therefore, at the same point, kind of like theoretically from the first glance, that is the same thing that Abyss of Legends offer to you. They offer to you 1 catalyst, which is enough to rank 3 a 6-star, therefore take a champion up to after the next progression level, and 2 for exploration. So that's kind of like the same split there, plus the same class and generic awakening gems. But in reality, it is extremely unlikely that these rewards will immediately have the same impact to you now than Labyrinth of Legends rewards used to offer back in the day when you first managed to do your first run through it. So it is without a question here a matter of these rewards being currently out of place and out of time, because vast majority of people's 6-star rosters are nowhere near well enough built for people to be kind of confident to go into this piece of content, complete the piece of content, and have a confidence that these rewards will actually benefit their accounts now, today. So as in, like, you go in there today, you finish that content, and you know for a fact that you will increase your prestige, or you're going to have rank 3 6-star champion or something. No, this doesn't do that for you. This is like the ultimate gamble. Therefore, I do believe that that also definitely puts away a lot of people from completing this content. And now, again, so as I mentioned before, that Abyss seemed to be released a bit too early. Add the fact that there are duplicate champions, duplicate encounters for whatever reason, which is extremely odd, which again just seems lazy and rushed. And you would not be kind of like looked down upon if you were to say that Abyss of Legends as a piece of content seems completely out of place. It seems like something that they should have released after finishing Act 6 and making sure that everybody has this rank 3 6-star already in order for them to perhaps help and complete Abyss like we had with Labyrinth, and at the same time give us more time and opportunities to grow our 6-star rosters and make sure that we can actually use these rewards. Or if you do not like to subscribe to that theory and say that Abyss came down and out exactly when it was meant to come out, then the second obvious elephant in the room is the fact that these rewards should have been selectors. Man, they should have 100% been either class selectors, or they should have simply flat out given like 1 from each class and take away any like kind of like RNG or decision. Like give 2 random classes for completing or for, but I do realize that would double the rewards, so it might not work as well. But the point is, the RNG aspect needs to be taken out of it. So they are the most likely, relatively decent solution, in my opinion, at least to tier 5 CCs. Should be change these out to selectors. Because other than that, I do not think that many people will attempt this relatively soon, even if they could. Because at this point, let's face it, if you have Aegon, if you have like an Odin and some stash and relatively decent roster to accommodate that Aegon, you can go and complete it. You can do it. But do you want to do it now? Kind of like thing. So that is basically what I currently think about Abyss of Legends rewards. I think BAM did themselves no favors at all whatsoever for leaving these rewards to be so random and having so many stories of people completing Abyss and being completely unfazed, unchanged, unaffected by these rewards. How many YouTubers have you seen do the initial run through Abyss, pull it, check out their class of 6 stars, whichever tier 5 CCs they pulled, and they go like, well, it doesn't do anything for me right now, so I'll just have to wait and hope, right? And what's worse, it all still is left to RNG. 1 second, that would be a call from Katie Candy to start stream, but that will also pretty much do for today's video, because I think I have kind of made my point to kind of like put it together, put it to bed, that I do personally believe that Abyss of Legends was either rushed and out of place, or at the very least, the rewards should never be so RNG based, and I think that is definitely dissuading many people from even thinking about clearing Abyss of Legends. But all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon. See ya.